RAI, Radiotelevisione Italiana S.p.A. is Italy's national public broadcasting company, owned by the Ministry of Economy and Finance. RAI operates many DVB and Sat television channels and radio stations, broadcasting via digital terrestrial transmission and from several satellite platforms. It is the biggest television broadcaster in Italy and competes with Mediaset, Sky Italia and other minor television and radio networks. RAI has a relatively high television audience share of 33.8%. RAI's broadcasts are also received in neighboring countries, including Albania, Croatia, Malta, Monaco, Montenegro, San Marino, Slovenia, Vatican City and southern Switzerland, and elsewhere on cable and satellite. Half of RAI's revenues come from broadcast receiving license fees, the rest from the sale of advertising time. In 1950, RAI became one of the 23 founding broadcasting organizations of the European Broadcasting Union. History. The Unione Radiofonica Italiana was formed in 1924 with the backing of the Marconi Company following a model adopted in other European countries. URI made its inaugural broadcast, a speech by Benito Mussolini at Teatro Costanzi, on the 5th of October. Regular programming began the following evening, with a quartet performing Haydn's Quartet No. 7 in A major from the Palazzo Corradi. At 21:00 CET, Ines Donarelli Viviani announced for the first time, URI, Unione Radiofonica Italiana Rome Station 1 425 meters wavelength. To all those who are listening, our greetings. Good evening. Guglielmo Marconi's S.A. Radiofono Società Italiana per le Radiocomunicazioni Circolari held 85% of URI shares and Western Electric's Società Italiana Radio Audizioni Circolari held the remaining 15%. Under the provisions of Royal Decree No. 1067 of 8 February 1923, wireless broadcasting became a state monopoly under the control of the Ministry of Posts and Telegraphs. URI was commissioned to provide services for a minimum of 6 years pursuant to Royal Decree No. 2191 of 14 October 1924. Concessionaire DEI Servizi Radioauditivi Circolari alla Società Anonima Unione Radiofonica Italiana. However, when URI's contract expired in 1927, it was succeeded under Royal Decree Law No. 2207 of 17 November 1927 by the partially nationalized Ente Italiano per le Audizioni Radiofoniche, which became Radio Audizione Italiana S.p.A., with investment from Società Idroelettrica Piemontese in 1944. 1940s. During the reconstruction following World War II, much of RAI's early programming was influenced by the Radiotelevisione style of the BBC. The emphasis was on educational content. Programs like Non è mai troppo tardi and Un viaggio al Po introduced people to what life was like in other parts of the country, at a time when most people couldn't afford to travel. Over the following years, RAI made various changes to its services. RAI reorganized its radio stations in November 1946 into two national networks, Rete Rossa and Rete Azzurra. RAI added the culture-based Terzo programma in October 1950. On 1 January 1952 the Rete Rossa became the Programma Nazionale and the Rete Azzurra became the Secondo Programma. The three radio channels eventually became today's RAI Radio 1, RAI Radio 2, and RAI Radio 3. 1950s. In 1954 the state-owned holding company Istituto per la Ricostruzione Industriale became the sole shareholder and RAI, now renamed RAI, Radiotelevisione Italiana, to reflect its extended responsibilities, finally began a regular television service. On the 3rd of January at 11:00 CET, the first RAI television announcer presented the day's schedule, which was broadcast from the service's Milan headquarters and relay stations in Turin and Rome. At 14:30, the first regular program in Italian television history was broadcast, Arrivi e Partenze, hosted by Armando Pizzo and Mike Boggiorno. The evening's entertainment was a theatre performance, L'Osteria della Posta, written by Carlo Goldoni. 23.15 saw the start of the day's concluding program, La Domenica Sportiva, the first edition of the weekly series which continues to this day. 2000s. Management. RAI was originally the subsidiary of RAI Holding S.p.A. RAI Holding was absorbed into RAI as of 1 December 2004, per Article 21 of Law 112/04. RAI is governed by a 9-member administrative council. 7 of members are elected by committee of the Italian Parliament. The other 2 are nominated by the largest shareholder, the Ministry of Economic Development. The Council appoints the Director General. The Director General and the members of the Administrative Council are appointed for a renewable 3-year term. In 2005, the government of Silvio Berlusconi proposed partial privatization of RAI by selling 20% ownership. This proposal was very controversial, in part because Berlusconi was the head of the leading private broadcaster Mediaset. Some critics claimed that Mediaset could become the buyer and thus increase its dominant position. However, after the revelation that RAI would lose €80 million in 2006, the privatization plan was suspended in October 2005. 2010s. On the 17th of May 2010, RAI-Sat received a major upgrade and rebranded with a new logo and a new name. It and all of the sister channels dropped the Sat part from the name and became RAI Yo-Yo, RAI 5, RAI Premium, and RAI Movie. On June 11, 2013, RAI was one of the few known European broadcasters to condemn and criticize the closure of Greece's state broadcaster RT. Criticism manages amount. RAI company has been criticized because as of 2015 it has 46 directors and 262 head offices and they're considered too many. RAI S.p.A. is a private company but it's 100% owned by the Italian government, so Italians have to pay high taxes in order to sustain private S.p.A. Italian government-owned companies like RAI. Political propaganda. RAI S.p.A. company is 99% owned by the Italian government Ministry of Economy and Finance, so it is said that it broadcasts content that may politically influence people. Debt level. As March 2015, RAI has a debt of €442 million and the Italian court Dei Conti was worried about the dimension of RAI debt for the impact that this may have on Italian people. RAI mandatory annual fee on all televisions in Italy. Italians must purchase an annual television license for about €100 every year in order to legally own a TV or HDTV. The Italian television tax has existed in Italy since 1938. It is based on a Kingdom of Italy law. TV channels. Discontinued channels: RAI-Sat Album, RAI-Sat Art, RAI-Sat Fiction, RAI-Sat Gambero Rosso Channel, RAI-Sat Ragazzi, RAI-Sat Show, RAI-Sat Smash Girls, RAI Asuri, UEFA Euro 2004, RAI Doc, Cultures, Styles, RAI Extra, Generalist, RAI Futura, Technologies, Games, etc. RAI Med, RAI Olympia 2004 Summer Olympics, RAI Unanet Uno Sat Uno, RAI Utile, RAI Widescreen 1998 FIFA World Cup, RAI on Cultura, RAI on Fiction, Rayon Fiction Live, Rayon News, Rayon Ragazzi, Rayon Spettacolo, Rayon Sport, radio channels, FM, AM, Sat, DAB, DAB+, DTT, Philo-diffusion, Web, Ray Radio 1, News and Information, Ray Radio 2, Adult Contemporary Music and Conversation, Ray Radio 3, Classical Music and Culture, Ray Radio 4, Light, Easy Listening Music, Ray Radio 5, Classica, Classic and Opera Music, Ray Radio 6, Decca, featuring items from the radio archives, Ray Radio 7, Live Music, Ray Radio 8, Opera Music, Ray GR Parlamento, coverage of proceedings in the Italian Parliament, Ray ISO Radio, for motorway users, Ray Südtirol Radio, German-language programs for the Trentino-Alto Adige, Südtirol region, Ray Radio TRSDA, Slovene-language programs for the Friuli Venezia Giulia, Furlanija Julijska Krajina region. Discontinued channels: Ray Italia Radio, headquarters and offices. Local offices: Northwest, Genoa, St. Christoph; Northeast, Bologna, Bolzano, Trento, Trieste, Venice; Center, Ancona, Florence, Perugia, Pescara; South Bari, Campobasso, Cosenza, Potenza; Islands, Cagliari, Palermo. Foreign offices: there are Ray offices in foreign countries, which produce news reports that are broadcast live in Italy. These offices are in Brussels, Paris, Berlin, London, New York, Beijing, Cairo, Jerusalem, Nairobi, Moscow, Rio de Janeiro,